everybody, I'm going to do another of these quick videos. I'm going to do this one about avoidances. Now I've done a much longer video about avoidances which you can go and have a look at later if you choose to do so, but this one will be quick. Okay, so question, are there things that you do to excess? Anything that you do to excess? It's likely a pacifying strategy. Okay. Now the problem with these pacifying strategies is they never work, right? It's impossible to get enough of something that doesn't work, and so you do it to excess. Right? It's sort of an addiction, but it's not solving what it's designed to solve. It's just a self-soothing strategy that you've learned that kind of works a little bit. Okay, so it's useful to know about these things that you do to excess because they can point you in the direction of where you need to go, but in and of themselves they are never going to work. You can start by owning that. Okay, but follow it back. Okay, so whenever you find yourself doing this thing to excess, whatever it may be, ask yourself before you follow through, what is the need that you're trying to fulfill? Okay, or what is the pain that you're trying to soothe? Or what is the fear that you dare not face? Okay, there is a story running inside of you which the pacifying action is designed to absolve. What happens with these avoidance strategies is that, in actual fact, what happens is briefly we feel in control whilst we are acquiring whatever it is that we're going to be doing, whatever the avoidance strategy is. Having achieved it, that sense of control dissipates in a second, and frequently it's replaced by a sense of guilt or shame. So in actual fact, we end up compounding the fear that we originally had, but briefly for a moment we felt all right. Okay, that's why we do these kind of avoidance, these self-pacifying, self-soothing strategies. But just take it from me, that's never ever going to work. Okay, so use it, look for the message behind it, and then go in that direction with a bucket full of kindness. Okay, I don't know what you need. Everybody is going to be different in what they need in that moment, but bathe yourself in love and kindness. Find out what the pain is beneath it and own it. Lean into it. Give it permission to breathe. Don't run away from it. Embrace it. Hug it. Be its best friend. Kiss it better. You know, understand it. Let it speak. See if by doing so you can come up with different choices, different actions. Now, if this has turned into an addiction, well, then you need to question, is it really an addiction or is it a soothing strategy? Okay, many things that we label as addictions actually are choices, they're not really addictions. You may find, for example, that although it feels like an addiction, you only do it in certain circumstances when it's possible to get away with it, you know, or for example, you don't do it when you're asleep. It doesn't wake you up. You know, a full-blown addiction you tend to need all the time. So it could also be a story which is running inside of your health. It's a choice that you keep repeating because it helps, yeah, a bit. But that doesn't necessarily make it an addiction. It just makes it a habit, a destructive habit. Very, very important distinction. You need to dig into the messages and the stories beneath it, what you're hoping to achieve by the pacifying strategy, what you're hoping to avoid. Because once you've stopped avoiding it, well, then your perspective on it completely changes. And the whole aspect of making change work is changing your worldview. That's how permanent change is made. It's by changing your responses and your capabilities, right? Because of the stories inside of your head, what you're doing is you're limiting yourself. And the more you can expand that, the more flexibility you give yourself, the more at ease you can feel with challenging the parts of you which are uncomfortable, because everybody has uncomfortable parts. Okay? I hope that's useful. Yeah, as I say, I've got a much longer video on avoidances if you wish to watch, but it's about 40 minutes long. I hope it might be helpful. All right, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.